Hello, welcome to Off the Shelf Reviews. It's Gaming Friday. I'm Gary.
And I'm Iain.
And today we are taking a look at Dino Crisis, which came out on July 1st, 1999.
Wow.
On the PlayStation, PC, Dreamcast, and Xbox. Developed and published by Capcom. And this is a survival horror, action-adventure, puzzle shooter, which I was a huge fan of this game.
Yeah.
Ian, you ever played the game when it came out?
No, I didn't. I was, I was hitting my Resident Evils, I was hitting my Silent Hills, and I saw the advertisement for Dino Crisis, and I think at the time I was kind of burned out. I was like, it just looks like Resident Evil but with dinosaurs.
Well, hell yes. Resident Evil was fantastic, and so just keep the formula but change the monster and change the setting, and going from zombie to dinosaur.
They didn't really change the setting, did they? They replaced zombies with dinosaurs. You're still going to this kind of underground facility that has been messing around with genetic experiments, which is going to be bad.
Well, actually,
and there's bound to be some kind of betrayal or chase sequences.
It turns out that he develops a portal and a time displacement device.
Right.
And so basically the dinosaurs are coming from our own history.
Right. So he's created a time machine. That's even worse.
Well, in the second game, you're sent to go to an island that gets teleported through time.
I did play the second game because somebody lent it to me, and it was a lot more action orientated.
Massively, yeah. Over the top guns, no need to reload, XP and upgrades, rapid fire machine guns and rocket launchers.
I really enjoyed that because it was different to Resident Evil. Like I said, Resident Evil, Silent Hill were doing kind of the same thing.
Dino Crisis 2, let's just be clear, is not a survival horror game.
It's not. It's an action orientated.
It's
a gun game that can shoot dinosaurs.
It's a dinosaur B movie turned into a game.
But if I was going to play a survival horror game, Resident Evil was where it's at, and I never got around to playing Dino Crisis. But you did.
Yes, absolutely. I came to this off the back of Resident Evil, and it was, reading the PlayStation magazines at the time.
Yeah.
And the name. Sorry for my pronunciation.
Oh yeah. I'm going to enjoy this.
I think it's Shinji Mikami.
Shinji Mikami. We'll go with that one.
Yeah.
Okay.
But he was the co-creator or the founder, the director for Resident Evil back in 1996. He was also involved in the Resident Evil HD remake in 2002. He also did Resident Evil 4 in 2005.
Yeah.
And I think that was when he left Capcom and went and started his own development company. Or no, actually he went and worked with Platinum Games.
Okay.
And he made Vanquish, which is a really underrated third-person action shooter game.
For the Xbox? Was that
I think it was on Xbox, on PC as well.
Yeah.
That was a great game. Then he started his own company, Tango Gameworks.
Okay.
And he came back recently with The Evil Within.
Nice.
And I also really enjoyed The Evil Within as well. I'm kind of looking forward to its sequel. But this man is, he didn't necessarily direct all the Resident Evil games, but he was there for the pinnacle ones, the first one, the fourth one. You can arguably say that Resident Evil 4 changed the landscape of the survival horror genre.
Yeah.
With the third person perspective.
Well, they went a bit more action orientated from Resident Evil 4 with shooting enemies, pick up money, upgrade your weapons. So they've created this mechanic which a lot of games have replicated.
Yes.
They want to mix it up because people are kind of getting a bit bored with that. So they look back at classics, Dino Crisis 2, and just replay the same formula. But for me with this game, I mean, just watching this cut sequence is quite nice.
If you were a fan of Jurassic Park, which came out, 3 years before this?
Yeah, 3 or 4 years, yeah.
Dinosaurs were back. Dinosaurs were back in a big way. We were still seeing imitation dinosaur films, I think The Lost World was around this time.
Out, yeah.
And so seeing a T-Rex eating someone in a video game, I don't know if people remember, but I can't remember which PlayStation it was, but there was sort of a demo that you could just watch the T-Rex
and you
just
could play with the
running,
yeah.
or it was the manta ray.
Yeah, and you could move the T-Rex's eyes and speed him up a little bit, have him roar.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden he's in a video game eating special forces units.
But it's no dogs. There are no dogs from Resident Evil, I'm afraid. I mean, T-Rexes are cool, but I'm going to shoot it with a rocket launcher at some point. That's all I'm thinking at the moment. You know.
So, the story for the game, it takes place on Abyss Island.
Okay.
I kind of think it's a play on, like, Abyss Island.
Nice.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's set in the year 2009.
That was only like 8 years ago.
Where the secret operational raid team, SORT, are sent to investigate.
SORT?
Yeah.
Oh my god. It's no
secret
stars.
operational raid team.
No stars.
They're not stars, no. And they are sent in to investigate the reappearance of Dr. Kirk, who was supposed to have died 3 years ago
Okay.
in an explosion which killed a lot of people.
Right.
So they've sent in 4 people. This is the special team.
Yeah.
You've got Regina, who is our red-headed hero, and she's sort of, this sassy sort of character. She's also pretty level-headed when things start to go wrong. You've also got Gale, who is sort of her commanding officer. And you've got Rick there.
With the black hair.
Yeah, he's the guy who helps you along, and he basically sits in the radio tower and just goes, "Hey, I saw something, you should go there." And then there was also Cooper, which you saw get eaten by the T-Rex early on. So there's 3 people.
Yeah, 3 people left.
And you're sent in to find out what's going on here. And I don't want to ruin the surprise for anyone who's not played the game. But it's dinosaurs.
Yeah, there's still dinosaurs. There's going to be a crisis of some sort as well. Okay.
The dinosaurs is the crisis, I guess.
Yeah, old school controls. Got to use the D-pad. Was that X to run? Yeah,
so
I can't trust guys with blonde hair anymore after Western.
What is it?
Yeah,
blood. I hope it's not Chris's blood.
This guy doesn't seem as friendly as Barry.
No, he's not as friendly as Barry, but he's also not as traitorous as Wesker.
Yeah,
so,
right, okay. I need a gun. I'm walking around with this goddamn pistol.
He's the generic tough guy who, after the first appearance with dinosaurs, will disappear until later in the game.
So, I mean, how long did this take you to complete first time round?
Now, I sucked at this game on my first playthrough. Playing through the Resident Evils was hard enough.
Yeah.
I didn't struggle with the puzzles in Resident Evil. I used to struggle with the boss monsters, and I always used to struggle with ink ribbons. But those were the early days of playing, it was before I started speed running those games and trying to not save at all.
Yeah.
And knowing where everything is. I could not learn this game. This game just kept fighting me the whole way. And so I to be honest, I struggled with it. And it's because its inventory and item management systems was totally different to that of Resident Evil. And I'll go into some of those specifics later.
Yeah.
But it was the puzzles in this game that I just couldn't quite figure out. And it's the fact that I also had troubles understanding the map, where I was, which items I needed, and how to work out the password from the items that you get. This game has a locking mechanism which is called the DDK system, which means these doors need the key to open it and the phrase to actually open the door.
Okay.
So you've got to find the 2 keys to the one door, combine them at the door, and it will give you a whole gibberish sort of sentence.
Yeah.
And then it'll give you a phrase of letters. And basically you then subtract those letters from that jumbled mess until you get a word.
Wow.
Or 2 words. Then you put those into the keypad to open the door. But there are also a ridiculous amount of files to collect.
Yeah.
A lot of these files contain numbers. And there are lots of number codes. So you've got the key codes and the number codes. But on top of that, there's also color matching puzzles, pipe moving puzzles, and the other thing that frustrated me compared to Resident Evil, where it'd be like, this is the cemetery key, or this is the spade key, the diamond key, the club key.
Yeah.
You knew which ones they opened. In this game, it's you found the B3 access tunnel DF key.
Oh,
and it's like, oh, which one was that? Like, it's
so
like I'm in, Jeffrey's Tube, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, it's just like, I don't know where that is. Like, which key does it open?
So
or which DDK part is that one?
It just sounds like they've taken the puzzle aspect of Resident Evil
and ramped it up.
Saying, right, okay, we need to make the puzzles a lot more harder for people to get past.
Right. That there is a puzzle in this game which, as a kid I forever could not figure it out. It took me it took me hours to figure it out. And you get the code for the door.
Yeah.
And it's, I think it says Leo Sol, but it's a number pad.
Okay.
And the way that you figure it out is you put those numbers in a calculator and turn it upside down, and it gives you the number 705037.
Whoa.
Now,
yeah.
exactly. There are so many instances like that in the game where I'm just bashing my head going, why did you... frustrating. And this was before I had the internet. Before I had AOL dial-up.
Yeah.
There was no walkthrough, so I had to wait for either a PlayStation magazine or a guidebook
or somebody else to play it.
Or somebody else to play it and go, oh, that's what you do. And you just go, how did I not figure that out? It sounds so simple now when you say it. But it's those sort of things that set you back. And it's those things that I found that were more frightening than the dinosaurs.
This guy's definitely dead. Will you take the med pack? Yeah, I'll take the med pack. Good thing I checked.
So, the inventory system works very similar to Resident Evil. You have ammo for the guns. You also, you pick up health pack aids or health pack sort of items that I consider them red herbs. You then add it to a med pack and it becomes a med pack, small, medium, but a plus symbol.
Ah, right.
There's also, later on, you'll find sort of a shotgun / dart gun. And you can mix certain chemicals with certain things to make certain darts.
Nice.
So that eventually you can get poisoned darts, so that you can go around and
damage.
Well, no, you can basically just put the dinosaurs to sleep.
Oh.
Which is great because then you can get around the rooms and sneak away, just get what you need to do and get out. Now, the thing that also irritated me with this game is that the dinosaurs spawn infinitely. You'll go into a room, there's 2 velociraptors, you'll kill them, you'll leave the room, and then you'll go, I need to go back there because I didn't get that item, or I couldn't figure out that puzzle, but I guess that door's now open, and the dinosaurs have respawned. And you'll kill them, and you'll leave, and you'll come back, and the dinosaurs have respawned.
You know this, you've played this, what's the code again?
If you cancel right now, cause just in case it changes.
Okay.
But if you look to your right, you can see it goes red, blue, green, white. Right. So on the lineup, you want red, blue, green, white. So this is this is the first puzzle. So one of the simpler ones. But again, if you're not looking, the solution's not always easy to find.
Yeah.
So having the velociraptors and the monsters constantly coming at you, you soon realise that you could keep blasting them if you've got the ammo to do it, but you'll soon run out. And if you're a Resident Evil pro player, you've soon mastered the fact that there are certain rooms and areas which you just leg it. You don't fight anything. You just go, okay, I may take a hit or two, but it's worth it for the time I'll save just to get those items and the ammo that I will use later on. And that's what this game requires you to do. Similar again to Resident Evil, it has a save system, but no longer are you collecting ink ribbons. There are rooms which, when you leave, it just prompts up saying, would you like to save your game now?
Ah, nice.
And you can just say yes or no, and it will track how long you've played, how many saves you've made, all the other things that require you to get certain endings to the game or the certain ranking.
Yeah, certain
very
weapons.
Similar to Resident Evil.
I feel like I'm being dropped right in the deep end because I've only got this pistol and it's just kicked.
I also think it's
kicked off.
Regina is the weapons expert of the group, and she's the most unarmed of everyone.
Here we go. Is that a zombie? Is it a bird? No, it's a broken fence.
I'm waiting for it.
Yeah, I'm
our
waiting
first
for it.
appearance. No, he's not down there.
Oh.
There it is. We get the tail end. I also think it's amazing that Resident Evil starts you off relaxed with the zombies, and this game just goes no. Velociraptors.
Yeah,
right in your face. It's like
could be any type of dinosaur. It's the most dangerous one.
Now, of course, anyone who's ever played the game as well will also recall encounters with the T-Rex in this game.
Yeah.
The Tyrant or the Nemesis chasing you in Resident Evil is bad enough, but the T-Rex, you walk into a room and it's got a glass window looking outside. And you're just like, is the T-Rex there? Is it just... Yes, it's smashed through. It's just giant teeth just filling the room, just chomping at you. It's... It's great moments. Yeah. But for me, those moments are few and far between in the game.
Yeah.
The great dinosaur moments are, all of this setup is awesome. But when it gets to the tedium of finding the parts, collecting the parts, mixing the parts, opening the doors,
all over
remembering
the
the codes, I mean, you literally need a pen and paper to write down a lot of these codes and phrases so that you can progress. And yeah, you end up backtracking quite a lot. I mean, this area here, you come back to quite a few points in the game, which leads me into the game's story, is that eventually you do catch up with Kirk, and then it's a case of trying to extract, and then the extraction gets, something complicated happens.
Okay.
And so then it's okay, now we need to go underground, and we can't escape yet because there's a portal barrier blocking the way, so we need to go and collect these 9 parts to go and do this, to do that, just so that we can escape. And it's just like, oh my god. It took the edge away from the dinosaurs a bit too much, which is where, with the second one, where it went, a complete departure from this game into full dinosaur action, but it lost all sense of dread and fear of the dinosaurs, because in this game they can kill you very quickly, and just if they pin you down and knock you to the floor, those velociraptors will tear you to pieces. There are sequences where the T-Rex will just eat you whole.
But then you got to balance it, really. Right, where do I have to go to? My destination is that red place.
Yeah.
You're
in the blue room.
So I got to head
out and around.
Okay, right. Okay. But I suppose, like you said, the story started to get tedious after a while because they were trying to expand it further than what Resident Evil had already done.
Yeah, I mean, Resident Evil's story was fairly simplistic, but in this one it's even more so.
Yeah.
At least there's no... I can't recall there being a real much traitor in the group.
But then, like I said, with the action aspect of the second game, I'd already enjoyed the scariness of Resident Evil and Silent Hill, so I didn't really need anything more.
Wanted to blast dinosaurs.
I just wanted to blast dinosaurs after that. So in the second one, taking away in your words, the taking away the edge.
Yeah.
What was actually refreshing. Because I needed to regain it again before going in and playing another game, which would obviously from here be, I think, Silent Hill 2 on the PlayStation 2.
Yeah. Now, one of the things that I do like about this game is, in comparison to the Resident Evils, is that it's no longer fully rendered backgrounds. This is a full 3D environment, which means there's a lot more creative control with the camera. You'll see that the camera sort of follows you as you move down corridors. Yeah. It pans left and right. It does a lot more interesting things because it's not stuck with those pre-rendered 3D sort of backgrounds.
Yeah.
So I thought that was a great step forward.
Get my gun
I also think that the art style of the game is quite fitting as well. But one of the things I do like about the dinosaurs is that something in the Resident Evil games is that you close the door, whatever was in there is staying in that room.
Yeah.
Occasionally, in a few scripted moments, the zombies will come through a door, or a licker will jump through the window, or etc. In this game, the dinosaurs will hunt you. So they will open doors, they will jump fences, and if you're bleeding and you have not bandaged or used something to cover up your wound, the dinosaurs will come at you even more. They'll come at you through air vents, and they will track you down, and they'll be more aggressive around you.
Nice.
Because you're bleeding.
Yeah.
So I kind of like that
So
aspect.
the enemies really work as what they are. They're not just static characters floating around certain areas. Like you said, they'll hunt you down. They'll move through doors. They'll group up into packs. And that's just the normal dinosaurs. I think you get compies in this one.
I think so, yeah, the little ones as well.
Little green compies, and then you get the velociraptors, you get the mixture of the T-Rex as well. So the chase is always on. But with the enormous amount of backtracking that you'll do and the puzzle solving,
you
lose the edge after a while, and then it's back on again. You feel exhausted towards the end.
Now, the game does keep up with the survival horror moments, so you still feel the sense of dread that even though you're not directly facing off against the T-Rex or one of the velociraptors right now, you know that it's still coming.
Yes.
You know until you've got to the end that it's not over yet. And I will say the game did bog me down with some tedium, and I did get a little bit bored trying to find all the different keys to open the different doors.
Yeah.
I don't know whether it was because, I didn't play this game through as many times as the Resident Evils. I know this game did have four different endings.
Yeah.
And I did play through and basically have save points halfway through the game at the decision points.
Right.
To try and get all those different endings. Because I'd like to see them for myself. Again, there was no YouTube. I couldn't just see what they, just couldn't watch them. And so I enjoyed it that much. But it wasn't a rewarding experience to go through the whole game again, even if the game gave you unlimited ammo and whatnot.
Yeah.
So overall, this game is filled with great ideas. It really does capture the survival horror elements, just a bit over the top on the puzzle solving. But still, I still highly regard the game, even though it for me was not as strong as other survival horror games at the time.
I think for me this would be better than Resident Evil 3. Close to Resident Evil 1. Ooh, I got a shotgun.
Nice.
I can live with the shotgun. Blood on the floor. But Resident Evil 2 definitely puts Dino Crisis to shame, I think.
Yeah.
What's this floaty disc?
So did you ever play Dino Crisis 3?
No, like I said, I did the second one and then I was done.
So yeah, sorry, just there you picked up the DDKH key.
Right, okay.
So now you need the other DDKH key, and then you'll have the phrase and the code to be able to open the door.
Wow, okay.
So yeah, you didn't play Dino Crisis 3?
No.
Surprisingly, Dino Crisis 3 was an Xbox exclusive. And, I know Capcom was signing different exclusivity deals with different companies at the time. It was like Resident Evil 4 exclusive only to the GameCube, and Dino Crisis 2 exclusive only to the Xbox.
Yeah.
And it was the game that killed this franchise dead.
Really?
Well, not only did nobody, people looked at Dino Crisis 3. I looked at Dino Crisis 3 after being a fan of the first one, being a fan of survival horror. I looked at Dino Crisis 2 and went, no thanks. That smells rotted.
Oh, Dino Crisis 2 was awesome.
And if I thought Dino Crisis 2 was rotted, what did I think of Dino Crisis 3? That's after the dust has settled on this corpse of a franchise, because it was killed dead. They took it into the future, into space, and the entire game takes place on a spaceship, which has had the time portal thing on it, and so dinosaurs have escaped.
Okay.
And you spend most of the game with jetpacks flying around the rooms, shooting at dinosaurs, twin shooting, and it's just like, this doesn't even look like Dino Crisis. This is not Dino Crisis. If you look at this game and then look at Dino Crisis 3 and you're like, it is not the same franchise. I mean, the second one was, like I said, a massive departure to this game, and it was... I can only imagine that Capcom were...
Fire, bitch!
Capcom didn't really know what to do with this game. I can only imagine that...
I don't think I've
you just got
for
disarmed as well. These shotguns on the ground.
Oh, shit in hell.
And I can only imagine they looked at this game and went, okay, the survival horror, was there, but maybe they thought the survival horror genre was waning slightly. Maybe they thought it would be best to go into the action route. But
fucking dinosaur! He's gonna kill me! Run, Regina!
Did you get your gun back?
I did get my gun back, but I'm completely unarmed. I gotta admit, the tension's ramping up now. Through this door, I don't know where I'm going.
The animations also really work. Just the dinosaurs, they feel like the Velociraptors from Jurassic Park. The way they move, the way they pounce, the way they attack.
Have I got no shotgun ammo?
I think you might have spent it all, or in your item list. If you go up to items, and then you can go to press up. No supplies. You're out of. You've only got handgun ammo left.
Yeah, I didn't even get any
resource management. Always an issue. Now, one of the other things that this game did very different to Resident Evil is, in Resident Evil you have the storage box. Whatever you put in it also appears. When you've gone 3 blocks down and into another location, you've gone into an underground facility. All the items you placed in it just magically reappear.
Oh, he jumped through the door.
Of course he did. Bastard. Clever girl. So they did away with the storage box in this game, and what they did is they give you lots of different plugs to collect. and different storage boxes throughout the game. That you'll either find the green ones, which are the medical storage boxes, or the red ones, which are ammo storage boxes.
Okay.
And different storage boxes require a different amount of plugs to open. Once you open them, you'll get all of the resources that are inside, and then you can use that one storage box to store what you want in it. But if you store anything in there and want it later, you've got to hope that you're able to backtrack there to go and get those parts.
Run.
Also, again,
Yes.
you can also see how much damage
fuck.
you've taken by the way that Regina holds her injuries
Yeah.
and limps as you go along.
Fucking bastard.
You also might want to check, because I think you're bleeding as well.
Yeah,
So
and I just used it to fucking do my health. Right, okay.
So you've got one resuscitation item left, which, again, unlike Resident Evil, is if you die, you can use the resuscitation and it will bring you back to life. I think just outside the door or inside the room that you just died in.
Right.
I think it gives you just a little bit of breathing room
I've got
to compose yourself before you go and attempt what you just did again.
Yeah, I've got
The
3
game
shots.
also gives you a few continues as well.
I'm bleeding all over the fucking place.
And that's because the save rooms are quite few and far between, I guess.
Yeah.
I intended to, before reviewing this game, I intended to play this game through to its completion.
Yeah.
But I got to about the halfway mark in the game, and I was just like, I don't want to keep playing. I kind of burned out. I was like, this game was a hell of a lot better. I remember it a hell of a lot better than I'm actually enjoying the fun of replaying it now.
Yeah, it just fucking bitch. It just seems really tough right from the start.
Well, from the get-go, it has, like I said, it's that learning curve that you have to go through of knowing the rooms, knowing where the dinosaurs are,
Yeah.
and knowing how to run around them to get the items you need and get out without firing a shot and without getting attacked.
And same now, I just wasted 3 shots on putting him down. And
which
I'm
I
still
probably
bleeding.
would have not done.
Yeah.
And saved them all for later on, because you're going to need that ammo for sure later on. And so that is why it's difficult. When I remember back when I first played the game, getting halfway through the game and just going, right, I need to start all over again.
Yeah.
Because I'm at this point where I've used up all the items in the storage lockers. I've got no ammo left, and the dinosaurs are still coming. It's one of those encounters where you have to defeat them in order to progress,
Right.
Instead of it being a case of zigzagging around them. But replaying it recently, I did find myself zigzagging past the dinosaurs, and it got to the point where they weren't a threat, more of an annoyance. It's kind of like, God damn it, dinosaurs, just get out of the way. I just want to get this key card so I can go back over here. But it still deserves its the attention and admiration that gamers had for the game when it came out. And I said it in the Legacy of Kain video. This game could really do with some of that Resident Evil HD love.
Yeah.
Either remake the game like they did for Resident Evil 1, or give it some kind of attention. Maybe even remake the game, or maybe even get Dino Crisis 4. It's dinosaurs are big again right now.
I would prefer it if they redid Dino Crisis 1, but motherfucker, but just brought in the action aspects of Dino Crisis 2. Make it
a survival horror game, but still have the gun. But some
like
of the
Resident
gunplay.
Evil 4, Resident Evil 4 and 5. Where you could have a massive dramatic action sequence fighting off 5 or 6.
It just you got to be
Packs of-
I mean, and you've got to make sure it doesn't get silly, because again, with Dino Crisis 2, when you're in the tank, escaping in a tank, shooting the tank at a T-Rex, it was just like, yeah.
But for me, that was fun. Like you said, for you, running around and doing this,
I want to
was
feel
fun.
the dread of being eaten by giant teeth.
But do you want to have to start your game all over again because you've gotten to a point that you've realised, oh fuck, I messed up, I wasted all that ammo, I'm going to need that now?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I think for modern survival horror games,
you wouldn't. But the gamers nowadays want to play a game all the way through completion. If they get to a point where they get stuck, it's all over the internet now, and then everybody knows how to prepare for it. So that moment has lost. It's lost its appeal.
Okay, now what I say to people, now I'm going to argue that, because if you play a game, you can only be honest to yourself. Now, if you, I'll be honest and say, at certain points, I have had to go online and look for a guide for the convenience of my own frustrations. But at the same time, I know I've defeated myself having to do that because I couldn't do it.
But that's
so
why
I say that to
actions-
people today playing these games. You know, play it as best you can until you do really get frustrated and stuck, and then look at what that code was.
But that's why action games work really, really well, because the action elements are different to every single person.
It's a reflex shooter then, isn't it?
Depending on how you do it. But I'm thinking more of a Dark Souls kind of aspect, where
Was like you might know the guide to do it, but actually still doing it.
still doing it is really, really difficult. And the fact that, you know, you can still complete the game without that extra little thing to give you that extra little ending. And now you get to go back and play it again with maybe a completely new save, so you don't have any of your weapons, or having all your weapons again. Going back in and saying, hey, I spent enough money on my fucking AR-15 assault rifle.
Right.
I'm going to kill some fucking dinosaurs over it. You know?
So you know, if you're a fan of dinosaurs, if you're a fan of Resident Evil,
Yes.
and you never even heard of this game, go back and check it out. If you were a fan of this game and loved it like I did, revisiting the game now, it's definitely a challenge. It's still there to pick it up and replay it again instantly. But like I said, it kind of I lost a little bit of interest in it at the halfway mark, and I don't know if I'll go back to it. But
I think you should definitely complete it. Complete it again, just
get one of the endings at least.
Yeah, just feel better. You know, you'll feel better over it. Now you've played it. Oh, I think I remember this bit.
Do you have both the H codes yet?
I don't know. I picked up discs, man. I'm happy. I've just picked up a hemostat, which stopped my bleeding.
Finally.
But now,
you're dinosaur bait.
I'm
Iain.
fucking so
Dinosaur
dead in a
bait.
minute.
And so with that, I want to say thanks everyone for watching. Thanks for listening. We'll be back next Friday with another video game. Of course, film reviews on Thursdays. You can find us on Facebook, on Twitter, and on Patreon.
Oh, there's two of them.
Thanks for watching,
Shit in the
everyone.
fucking face. I died,
I might just
motherfucker.
stick around and watch Iain get eaten.
Oh, I killed one! I killed one! Oh no, he's not dead. Fuck! Shit, the other one. Go on.